You see it, right? When Roman Reigns walks out, that presence, it's just pure power. But have you ever stopped and thought, how does someone build that? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to break down the workout, the whole mindset of the tribal chief. Let's get into it.
You know, it's so easy to just chalk it up to, oh, he's just got good genetics. But no, this quote, it hits the nail on the head. That dominance you see in the ring, it isn't luck. It's not a gift he was handed. It was forged. We're talking years of sacrifice, built one rep at a time.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? We're going to go way beyond that epic entrance walk. We're going to look under the hood and really understand the blueprint of a champion. Because look, this is about so much more than just lifting heavy things. This is about forging a champion's character. Every single time he walks down that ramp, it looks effortless, right? But that's the thing. That powerful, confident stride is built on an insane amount of grueling work that nobody ever sees. And the crazy part, it all starts way before he even thinks about lifting a weight. Think about it like building a skyscraper. You don't start with a penthouse, you start with a rock-solid foundation. And that's exactly his philosophy. He's not just going to jump into some crazy heavy lift. No way. He knows that real lasting strength comes from respecting your body, from getting it ready for the war that's about to come.
Okay, so when you look at this list, don't just think, oh, a warm-up. This is way more than that. This is a deliberate, calculated strategy. Every single thing on here, the mobility, the stretching, the band pulls, it's all designed to bulletproof his body. It's about priming the engine before you redline it. This right here, this is the invisible work that makes the big moments possible. All right, here we go. This is the main event. This is the forge. It's where you take any perceived weakness and you hammer it into pure strength. We're not just talking about moving weight from point A to point B. This is about a total transformation. It's about pushing your body past its limits into territory it's never seen before. So his whole training philosophy really boils down to 3 key pillars. It's pretty straightforward. Number 1, raw explosive power. We're talking pure strength. Number 2, brutal conditioning so he can go and never gas out. And number 3, building what I like to call core armor for unshakable stability. Let's dive into each one. First up, raw power. And look, this isn't that pretty for the mirror muscle. This is real, functional, explosive strength. And he builds it with the undisputed kings of the gym: squats, deadlifts, bench press. The big 3. These are the lifts that build a powerhouse from the ground up. Period. Now, the method here is crucial. We're not talking about doing 100 reps. No, it's all about maximum intensity. Pushing seriously heavy weight, but, and this is key, with perfect form. When you're lifting like that, it's not just a physical test anymore. It becomes a mental battle. It's your mind telling your body, we are not done yet. We've got this. But look, being the strongest guy in the room doesn't mean much if you run out of gas in 2 minutes. To be a champion, you need an engine that is just relentless. And that's where these absolutely brutal conditioning drills come into play. Sledgehammers, battle ropes, all-out sprints. I mean, this stuff is designed to absolutely wreck you. It pushes you to that point where your lungs are on fire, but that's where you forge that unstoppable endurance. This is what puts him in a completely different league. And the third piece of the puzzle, the thing that ties all that power together, is his core. And let's be clear, this has nothing to do with having a six-pack for the beach. This is about building armor. It's about creating a rock-solid center of gravity with things like hanging leg raises and planks. That's what lets him absorb impact, stay on his feet, and deliver those devastating spears. It's all connected. Okay, so we've talked about the insane workouts, but honestly, that's only half the story, maybe even less. Now we get to the unseen pillars, the stuff that happens outside the gym. Because being an elite athlete isn't a 2-hour-a-day job. It's a 24/7 commitment. The real magic, the real growth, happens when you're resting, recovering, and refueling. Just look at this breakdown. It's pretty wild, right? The actual training is just 15% of the pie. Think about that. The huge majority of his success comes from what he does outside the gym. We're talking nutrition and sleep, making up a massive 70% combined. This just proves he gets it. You can't just go hard all the time. You have to balance that intensity with recovery, or you're just going to burn out. It's simple, really. You wouldn't put cheap gas in a Ferrari, right? Same principle. His body is a high-performance machine, and it demands high-performance fuel. So that means tons of lean proteins to rebuild muscle, complex carbs like brown rice for energy that lasts, and of course, veggies and fruit. But what's just as important is what he avoids. No junk food, no sugary drinks, no letting yourself get dehydrated. For him, food isn't about satisfying a craving, it's a strategic decision to be better. So we've covered the body, the fuel, the recovery, the whole physical game. But none of it, and I mean none of it, matters without the most important piece, the mindset. You can build the most incredible physical fortress, but if the general inside is weak, the fortress will fall. The body's the armor, sure, but the mind, that's the weapon.
And this right here is what separates the good from the truly great. He doesn't just go through the motions. Every single rep has a purpose. Every workout is a statement. It's about legacy. He's training like he has something to prove, not to us, but to himself. And man, that's a lesson we can all take into our own lives, right? We all have our own arenas, our own fights, and that kind of internal drive, that's the secret weapon.
So when you boil it all down, what's the one big takeaway? It's this quote right here. Greatness is never, ever just handed to you. It's a choice you have to make over and over again, every single day. It's built in the gym with sweat. It's built in the kitchen with dedication. And it's built with a consistency that is absolutely relentless. He didn't get lucky. He earned it.
And that really just leaves one last question, not for him, but for you. His entire journey is proof of what's possible when you decide you're not going to quit. So looking at your own life, your own goals, are you ready to step into your arena? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Because the whole journey, it always starts with that very first step.